Let's go! Eastern suburbs, red, white, and blue, we're flying high. Sydney Roosters reach the sky. Eastern suburbs. We took flight. Come on! Born and born, southern skies ignite. From the east, our spirits rise. Red, white, blue, our story told. From nothing we rose, made our claim. Eastern pride, we built our name. Stronger now, we never fall. Rooster spirit standing tall. Yeah! Come on! Feel that pride, let's go! Since the start, the legacy lives. Power the heartbeat gives. Red and blue, we walk with pride. Fans by side, can't hide our vibe. Flags up high, crowd in sync. Roosters rule, we never blink. Eastern suburbs, da, 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 da. Eastern suburbs, da, 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 da. Red, white, and blue, we're flying high. Sydney Roosters reach the sky. Eastern suburbs, da, 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 da. Roosters! Get up! Feel that pride! Grand on fire, glory set. Fighting with fire, no regrets. Yeah! Every tackle, every try, hit hard.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. It is Hainsey here, and we are here live for your match reaction here on the Sydney Roosters Diehards. The Sydney Roosters are finally back in action for your 2026 season. We did go down 42 points to 26 over the West Tigers in our first preseason hit out, and honestly, I think the first thing we need to establish here, lads, it is a trial game, and the result. And I've said that all week, that the result isn't the be-all and end-all for me. Look, it's basically a tale of two halves. Like the first 40 minutes, I thought were really, really good. Our combinations with Toby Rodwell and Hugo Savala, with Beniah at hooker, Rex Bassingway at fullback. I thought we had a really, really solid 40 minutes. Obviously, we took a lot of players off. After that, we didn't feature Hugo for the second half. Rex Bassingway come on the last 10 minutes. Beniah played 5-10 minutes of the second half. So you sort of get the picture of how it played out. Obviously, the Tigers, they were very good today. So obviously give them a lot of credit. They played really well in that second half. But in terms of us, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about whatsoever. I think it was just a good indication of a little bit of what's to come with us in the long term. And look, I thought it was very promising, 40 minutes. And just good to get that first preseason game out the way, and just to get to see some Roosters footy back on our screen. So that's the way I take out of this game, and I don't think honestly there should be any concern whatsoever about the Roosters going into this year. Obviously, we had a lot of first grade experience playing the first, not a lot, but still had a decent amount of first grade experience played in the first half. That was due to the fact that they only got that run because of last year through a little bit of transition in last year. So, obviously, there was more established first graders from us in the first half. And you'd probably say there was a little bit more for the Tigers in the second half. But all in all, look, obviously not. I'll come out and publicly admit that I don't like losing. And obviously, it's never nice to lose, even though it's a trial game. I don't like seeing us lose. But I just, for me, it just wasn't, don't take a lot out of this game to me. I don't take a lot out of the result or the performance. Yeah, look, I thought, you see what you see. I thought the second half was a bit disappointing defensively, but, it's a trial game. There's a lot of inexperienced young kids out there playing and getting their first real taste of first grade exposure, getting their exposure on that stage. So it was good to see him play. I sort of thought there were some good moments in that game in the second half. I thought, our final try was some really great piece of brilliance there. So, And we'll talk about that crazy try from the Tigers wing in that second half. That was unreal, and that will definitely be a highlight worthy in any game, never alone a trial game. But all in all, like, it's just great to have the Roosters back on our screens, to be honest with you. We'll go through the match stats for you guys and give you guys a little bit of a summary of the game, and just have our bits and pieces over the next few minutes or so, and like to hear your guys' thoughts on it as well. So let's get through the summary for you guys. So obviously, the try scorers, obviously Junior Ponga was open scoring for us. Tom Rodwell, so Junior Ponga in the 7th minute, Tom Rodwell in the 15th minute, Benai Leo in the 24th minute. Macassini scored a hat-trick coming in the 30th minute, 41st and 46th for the Tigers. Jared Hayward scored on halftime in the 39th minute. Logan Dino in the 56th minute for the Tigers. Charlie Murray in the 60th. Kit Lulai, that was an unreal try. I want to talk about that shortly as well in the 65th minute. Tavana in the 69th was a great try as well from the Tigers. And then obviously a try through Egan Butcher and Jackson Stewart in the 77th minute. 3 out of 5 conversions from Hugo Savard. 2 out of 4, I think. 3 from Hugo. 1 out of 2 for Jake Elliott. Jock Madden kicked 5 from 8. Possession. So the Tigers with 54% to the Roosters 46. Run meters, the Tigers ran for 654 meters compared to the Roosters 1,437. Tackles made 364 for the Roosters, 313 from the Tigers, 51 missed tackles from the Roosters, a bit disappointing in my opinion, 37 for the West Tigers. Top performing players, Celeste Fiketti with 31 tackles, Tom Rodwell with 204. He had a great shift today, Tom Rodwell, 204 metres in the trial game is really impressive. Macassini with 3 line breaks. Jackson Stewart had 2 towards the back end, and Jock Madden had 64. Obviously, we've played a lot of minutes there. He played really well. Dom Young just scored for Newcastle. I've got that in the background. 76% completion rate compared to the Tigers 90. That's maybe something I might want to take out of this game, honestly. 37 tackle breaks. 434 post-contact reads for the Tigers, 532. 5 offloads compared to the Tigers, 16. 51 missed tackles, 11 errors, 4-2 penalty count. We won that. Look, if there was more coming towards the second half. Like, I was a bit disappointed though towards the second half where we sort of just, started those areas. I thought the first half, that first 40 minutes, I think we completed at 90%. And then they ended up in the second half completing it not at 76%. Like, and I said this in the weekend wrap-up last week. I generally think we have a completion rate problem across the board from first grade all the way down to Howard Mats. And I felt like that's the one thing that could be our Achilles heel this year, and it was for the majority of last year, was finishing games off and completion rate. I thought our discipline was pretty good today. Our first half, maybe I'm not reading into this too much. It's a trial game. 40 minutes. We take basically all of our first grade experience went off after half time. Only a handful come back on. So, there's not much to read on about it. But, across the board, I can start to see a pattern where first grade all the way down to Harold Mats with our completion rate and our unforced errors is really a bit disappointing. So, look, I thought the Tigers were really, really good in that first half, that second half. But, I am more reading into that first 40 minutes than anything because that was a lot more on show. And, yeah, I was really impressed with that first 40 minutes, to be honest with you. And then, obviously, that second 40 minutes was a complete – it was a tale of two halves. You got, you come to the second half, you've got, you had a lot of young players not playing. Like I said, I think the only one that had first grade experience in that second half was Junior Tupou played 50 minutes. Tom Rodwell played, I'd say 70, and he had a great shift today. Benai come on, played about 5 minutes of the second half, then got taken off again. yeah, that's pretty much it. Egan Butcher started the second half, come back off. De La Salvata only played, 2 games. So yeah, you get what I'm trying to say here. Like, obviously there's not a lot of first-grade experience at all in that second half. Granted, the Tigers weren't as well. So, like, it wasn't anything to, not taking a lot out of this second half, eh? Like, I'm sure if you're a Tigers fan, you'd be generally impressed in that second half performance. But for me, as a Roosters fan, obviously never nice to see us lose. Obviously lost 42-26, but I take a lot out of that first half more than anything. And obviously next week will be very, very similar. Obviously next week we'll have our full strength side available to start our first. Obviously we'll name close to probably I'd say maybe 28 players again next week, and the starting 13 will most likely be our starting 13 come round 1. And then at halftime, I don't expect Tedesco playing 80 minutes. I don't think DCE Sam Walker's playing 80 minutes either. It's next week they'll be playing 40 minutes and they'll be in the showers, and that's them done. And then we'll see the likes of, maybe Hugo Savalo and, Toby Robb get in the halves, Rex Bassingway at fullback. If you get my point. So I expect that lineup coming into next week. I expect us to play 28, maybe 26 players, pretty much in sync. Same thing as today. Like all the clubs are doing today over the next couple of weeks. And I said this all week, lads, like trial games for me, the result and performance isn't the be all and end all. You can't sit here, right, and say that the Roosters are going to get the spoon because they lost 42-26 in a trial game. You can't say to me that Penrith are going to get the spoon or miss the 8 because they lost 66-24 last night in the trial game when the Cowboys played 40 minutes full strength against Penrith played no one yesterday. And come tonight in the Charity Shield, St. George, then their final hit out before Vegas. They're playing full strength for 40 minutes. Same thing in this game right now between the Dogs and Newcastle. They'll play close to full strength today and then for 40 minutes and then they'll take them off. Souths are playing Bailey no one tonight. So, you don't read in these trial game forms. But at the end of the day, obviously, like I said, I don't like seeing us lose. It's not nice to lose, but I'm pretty happy with how we played in that first 40 minutes. Like I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record today. I'm taking more out of that first 40 minutes than I am in that second half. There were some promising signs in that second half too. It was good to see a little bit of a combination there with Reece Foley getting some game time, Jake Elliott, Saxai Refai, Seve. You get what I'm trying to say here. That first 40 minutes, I'm taking a lot more out of. Some really impressive signs in that second half and at stages. I thought defense is definitely something to improve on in the lower grades. In particular, we just didn't wrap that ball up. You look at the stats, the Tigers offloaded 15 times compared to our 5. And, they just carved us up in the middle in the second half. So, but yeah, like I said, there's not to read about that second half. There's nothing to be concerned about. And I know our right edge defense today was a bit disappointing. That Macassini from the Tigers, he had an absolute field day, and he's a really promising player. Like I said, he debuted when I was there at his debut last year when he played the Titans, and he was promising. And he's 18 years of age, and he's a star for the future for the West Tigers. Definitely, after that performance, he's putting his hand up for a starting spot for the Tigers in round 2 because they got the bye in round 1. So our right-hand defense was caught lapping in stages, especially for pretty much in the entire game. But, there's no concern there because come round 1, Rob Toyer and Marky Marks on that right edge. Nothing to complain about. Nothing to be worried about with Rob Toyer, one of the best defenders in the game there. And then obviously Martin Wanganitawase on the wing as well. So there's nothing to be concerned on that right edge. And obviously on the left edge, you're going to have Billy Smith and Daniel Tupou. But yeah, so like I said, I don't think there's anything to be really, really concerned about at all. But let's go for the first 40 minutes then. Let's talk about it. Really impressed with Rex Bassingway. Played really, really well today. Obviously, we've been high on him this week. A lot of talk about, Rex Bassingway being the long-term successor from James Tedesco when he decides to end his incredible and legendary career. And that was our first little taste with life, maybe without Tedesco. And he did not look like a foot out of place. He was really, really good today. He's got some good ball handling, and he looked right at home at fullback. And obviously, it was sort of our first real indication for a lot of Roosters fans of what's to come with Rex Bassingthwaighte at fullback. And if Tedesco is going to be featured in the Origin series this year, or at any point Tedesco is not going to be in the number 1 jersey for whatever reason, like, I would look no further than Rex Bassingthwaighte. And I thought he put his hand up, and could potentially maybe even see Rex Bassingthwaighte be in around the top 30 setup this year. Obviously with the 6-man bench, there's a few options we can do. Obviously, I was very high on Cody Ramsey, and I would have liked to see him play. Obviously, he was in the crowd. He was in the ground today with the squad. But it would have been a good opportunity to see him have a run. Maybe we might see him next week. Who knows? But look, I thought, I was really impressed with Rex Bassingthwaighte. Junior Tupou, he was okay, a bit quiet. One thing I've got to say about Junior Tupou, he's got to be so much better with his kicked refusals. I thought it was nothing really to write about with Junior Tupou today. Junior Ponga, I was very impressed in that 40 minutes. He was really, really good. He had a great game. Tommy Talau, I thought his defense was a bit ordinary, to be fair with you. Tom Rodwell, like I said, he had a great shift today. 206 run meters. He was pretty good in that. I think he played 70 minutes, I think. In the first 40 minutes, Hugo and Toby Rodwell, very, very impressed with that halves combination. Maybe indication of what our New South Wales Cup side might look like in our halves department. I think we're going to have a really good year in Cup, to be honest with you. If we, obviously with Rex Bassingthwaighte fullback, Toby Rodwell, maybe Jake Elliott, if Hugo's a part of in the side, even not Benaya at 9. But yeah, I was really impressed with Hugo's ball playing, especially with that try that he set up for Junior Ponga to start the game. I thought that both side that combination was really, really promising for me, and take a lot. Like I said, I take a lot out of that 40 minutes than I do in that second half. But yeah, I thought Toby had a good game. He made that one error where he threw a forward pass in the second half. But who really cares, honestly? I thought Hugo and Toby were really, really good today, and something to look forward to. And maybe we might see that combination next week. Like I said in the preview video, like I said in the team list reaction and that, I would have liked to see, especially today, I would have loved to seen Hugo play lock. Obviously, maybe Robbo didn't want him back on. He was happy. He was satisfied with how he played. But that would have been a great indication. Obviously you have Reece Foley or Jake Elliott with Toby in the halves. Then that's when there would have been a great opportunity to see. Would have been great to see Hugo Savala play a bit of 5-10 minutes at lock. Maybe we might see it next week. Who knows? But I thought today would have been a great opportunity. Maybe next week might still see it as well. Egan Butcher was really good for us too today. I thought, he had a great game, Egan. Obviously, got to look at the opposition. Tigers weren't full strength either, but really great effort today for Egan Butcher. Got a nice try, and I will say about that try, really great decision from Casey Badger to award that. In recent times, that's easily obstruction. Obviously, the referee thought it was obstruction, but no, the Charlie Murray made the defensive decision to lead on the lead runner on Taylor Lasalu, and hopefully we see a lot of that this year. We might, don't just fall into the habit that he's made contact, being the decoy runner, it's automatically obstruction. He's been impeded. No, he leant into him and made a defensive decision. So I was really glad that they made that call. So, and happy they got that call right, in my opinion. But obviously, it would be nice to be seen. It's obviously in hindsight to say that well done in the trial game, but I don't really want to see that. I really want to see that in the regular season. I want to see that big across the board. Have they put the team stats in here today? Player stats, sorry. I just want to go through Egan Butcher's stats for you. Like I said, it's literally the first hit out of the season, right? So I don't want to see them playing like a 10 out of 10 before. You don't expect them to play a 10 out of 10 in a trial game, but unless you're Macassini, he was incredible for the Tigers today. 6 hit up. I thought he had more than that, Egan. 6 hit up, 64, 66 minutes. I mean, he played for like half an hour. 6 hit up, 66 minutes, 66 run meters, 29 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, 1 line break, tackles 27, 0 missed. That's a really good shift from Egan. Taylor Salu, he was pretty solid. Mate, Taylor was a beast, man. Look at these stats, man. 13 runs, 147 meters. Really great shift from Taylor Salu. 20 tackles, 1 missed. Be happy with that. Celeste Fichetti was really good defensively. 6 hit up, 69 meters, 27 post contact, 31 tackles, 2 he missed. Really good. To the captain, Nat Butcher. 8 hit ups, 69 meters, 27 post contact, 31 tackles, 23 tackles, 0 missed. 84 meters, sorry, for Nat Butcher. Siwa Wong was good too, as you expect from the big guns that played. I think for me, what I more saw out of Nat Butcher today, that he got through injury free. He got through, played his first game since mid last year. Had an awful run with an MCL injury from midway through the season. Never got back onto the field. Re-injured in that. He was a bit unlucky with injury last year, but it was just great to see him have that hit out and great to see him back on the field. So that's what I more see out of Nat Butcher's performance today. Siwa was really, really great today. I was happy with his performance. De La Salva come off the bench. Didn't do a lot for me, unfortunately. De La Salva, still young, still inexperienced, but like especially if you want to crack into this side, you got to show more, especially in these trial games. I felt he runs the ball hard, but like 12 tackles, three missed in a short time frame. That's hard to get a read. To be honest with De La Salle, got the potential. Still young, still got a lot of time, but like if you want to be, pushing for, to be in and around that side, obviously you think of who was missing today in our front row department. Nafahu White, Lindsay, Spencer, Egan Butcher played, Blake Steep. There's 4. Spencer, there's 5. Like he's probably what 6th, 7th in line, maybe 9th in our front row def. So it's hard to crack into because of how talented our def is, and how quality our side is when we're full strength. But it felt like even Taylor Lasalu had a great day. So so I would like to see a little bit more better from De La Salle, but like I said, he's still very young, So, like I said, nothing really to worry about at all. See what else we can get through. Anything else? Got any questions? G'day, Jason. Bring on the NRL season. DC East next week. How'd you go? Mate. Be happy that your team won out a great performance, but are you really trying to like anyone that talks shit about winning a trial game? Fucking hell. Come on, lads. Tino Tavana, that try was insane. Watching that live, obviously, I'm not live, I wasn't at the ground, obviously. I was obviously doing the watch along on my channel. And thank you everyone who tuned in to them live for the watch along too, by the way. We had a great crowd in for a trial game and obviously plenty more to come throughout the year. But man, that try was unreal, man. That try was that was awesome. Awesome to watch. That rivals Xavier Coates' finish. I think, anyway. Scoring the try of the week on Valentine's Day. That was a freaky try. That was a freaky try. And Jackson Stewart, I thought he was pretty good. He scored a nice try. That was obviously nothing compared to the Tigers winning his try, but that was a really nice, classy move there from Jackson Stewart. Down the sideline, chip and chase, and regathered and scored. I thought that was really good. So obviously, plenty to like for me. Plenty to like about the game. Obviously you don't want to see us lose. I don't like seeing us lose, but obviously good little look into the future. For the guys that on the reserves that come on and played in the second half, it's just a bit of a hit out for them. Get for everyone involved, for both teams as well, just having these guys a run. Like I said, I sound like a broken record here, and I don't care. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I take a lot more out of that first half than the second half. Honestly, that's how I see it. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Appreciate your support. Obviously, we'll be live. We'll be on live tomorrow for your weekend wrap up, and then back into the weekend next week with our preseason. Obviously, our week 2 preseason challenge. We'll go through a little bit of a predicted lineup, news roundup, reaction to, and all that. Same as this week, pretty much the same thing. So, I look forward to sort of a little bit of a. Guys get a little bit of an indication of what our game week's going to look like and our game day. Obviously, we've got a few in here. Really appreciate you guys coming in for our match reaction. And, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Obviously, if you guys are still keen on the content, we'll be live on my personal channel again later on tonight for our Charity Shield watch-along. So I hope you guys can join us then as well. Man of the match, I'd probably say, I don't know. Our forwards look pretty good, to be fair. Another thing that I wanted to see, one thing I was happy about tonight's game performance as well, anything to take out of this game for me is that we got through it unscathed. No injuries, no injury concerns, no suspensions. Obviously, most of these guys, maybe apart from Burton's come off with a Hemi complaint for the Dogs. That's interesting. Week out from Vegas. Oh, they're about to score anyway here. Bronson Sherry with an intercept. Oh, no, they got covered back Newcastle. But yeah, like I said, I think Matt Burton off the tunnel. Jeez, big concerns there for the Doggies in the lead up to Vegas. Yeah, wow, big news. But yeah, really good to see they got through it unscathed. The likes of Hugo Savala, Nat Butcher, Egan Butcher, Celessi Fichetti. Celessi played big minutes out of all of them today in the forwards. So no injury concerns, no suspension concerns. Hopefully repeat for next week as well. Don't want to see any injury concerns next week either with our big guns. But, for across the board, both teams got through it unscathed. I think Macassini got on report. I don't think he's got much to worry about. I don't think the fucking judiciary system should be applying in a trial game regardless. I remember last year when Spencer got given 2 weeks for a fucking high tackle in a trial game. I'm like, you kidding me? You don't serve them in trial games anyway. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, don't really need to complain about it because it was last year. But I'll be really pissed off if next week, just say for example, Angus Crichton high tackle gets cited and misses round 1 because of a trial game high tackle. That the judiciary shouldn't be applying in a trial game. If they do, I'll say this, because if I'm a Tigers fan and Macassini is ruled out of their first game against the Cowboys at Leichhardt Oval, I would be furious if he misses anything because of that high tackle in the trial game today. I'd be furious because it happened in the trial game. And you know what the problem is? That's not going to count next week. It's a trial. But it's a trial game. Won't count to your suspension. You have to serve it in round 1. Oh, here's a break here for Newcastle. Go, mate. Go. Look at him. He's quick. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say here, lads? That should not be applying. And if I'm a Tigers fan, I'll be absolutely dirty if he gets anything from it. I don't think he will. But, if he misses their first game because of an incident in the trial game, like happened last year with Spencer, I'll be furious. But then the good news so far, our first hitter out of the way, We're on the way in 2026, which is great to see. Lot of promising signs in that game. Obviously, a few things to work on. It's our first hit out of the season, but all in all, I think we can obviously never nice losing, but very happy to see what we got to offer in the years to come, like Rex Bassingweight and the halves combination. Like I will say this though, looking at that first 40 minutes, seeing Benaya play Hugo well in the halves, Robbo has a big decision to make come round one. And I don't think we've seen a lot answered out of this game, to be honest with you. I think Robbo would have been keeping a close eye on that more than anything. Who is going to be my 14 come round one? I'm pretty sure Robbo will definitely be keeping an eye on the All-Stars game tomorrow. And that actually brings me up to a very interesting topic. Oh, not interesting topic. That reminds me, I'm just going to go check where is Connor Watson playing tomorrow in the All-Stars. Where's he been named? Is he named at 9 or is he named somewhere else? Have they named the team or have they just done a squad? And they named the team. Okay, Connor Watson is playing at 9. Yeah, sorry about that. But like I said, so Connor Watson's named at 9 tomorrow for the All-Stars. Obviously, Reece Robson's going to be the starting 9 for us next week and round 1 probably. Like, it is going to be very, very interesting on what does Robbo do. You know, obviously we had to see what, for me, everyone that's sort of under pressure to retain their spot is going to be nonetheless solved. Like, I don't think out of that performance, I'm sure Robbo has a clear plan, but I'm just sitting here like, Hugo played well in that first 40 minutes. He played really well in that first 40 minutes at 6. Benaya was really, really solid at 9 in that first 40 minutes. Obviously, Robbo is going to have a little bit of an indication of what see how Connor Watson plays in the All-Stars tomorrow. That'll be very interesting to see how he plays. Obviously, CY played good at lock. Obviously, who's going to be the lock come round 1? Obviously, Victor Radley's suspended for the first couple of weeks. But, yeah, more, not the answers weren't really answered today. The questions weren't really answered today with who's our 14, who's our lock round 1. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good selection headache, right? It's a good selection headache, Dav. But they're not solved, eh? Obviously, we've got one more hit out next week, and that will maybe be the final piece of resistance here for Robbo when they're going to have all of them available. Obviously, we're going to see scenarios where we might – obviously, I still expect DCE to be the 6 with Sam Walker, and we'll see that next week. But then, obviously, Hugo is the accompanying 6. Didn't do a lot wrong today at all. He was really great. I'm really impressed with Toby Rodwell's kicking game too. He's got a good boot on him as well. Mind you, Rodwell's 20 years of age this year. So still got a lot of time to develop. Then obviously Hugo's at that stage. Now Critter's injured as well, looks like, for the Dogs. Jeez. But yeah, like I said, I still have my money on Hugo being the 14, Watson 13, because Hugo can cover more. He can play 6, play 9. And like I said, obviously with the trial, with having the 6-man bench now, that fits perfectly for Hugo Savala to cover that position. You can have 4 forwards, 14 to 17, then have 18 Hugo, 19 Rex Bassingway, Cody Ramsey, or Junior Ponga, whoever you want. I'm probably going for Junior Ponga to be the 19th man. And sort of see outside back goes down, Junior Ponga, bang, done. You can reshuffle Mark fullback, Junior Ponga wing center. Then you have Hugo Savala can cover the halves, can cover the 9, can cover the lock, maybe a lock as well. So I'd say I lean that way. Have Connor Watson 13, Hugo in the Stephen Crichton. Wow, great try. Yeah, so that's maybe the way I see it. But obviously we'll know more next week when we have a full squad on deck next week. So, but yeah, all in all, really solid performances. But I've got to be honest, though. I genuinely feel so sorry for Benaya. Like, is he really going to spend most of the year this year in Cup and gets a run when Robson's out in the Origin squad? Because obviously Reece Robson is going to be the 9, and he plays a lot of minutes. Like, do we fit Benaya into the side? Like, that is the questions that need to be answered. Well, not right now, but a lot of time to answer them anyway. All right. Let's see what other Roosters fans have been saying today after that performance. Like, I don't think, like no one should should play footy again. Yep, 100%. Sign Rex for life, please. I don't know what people are negative about that trial game. Dead set. Yeah, look. The realistic Roosters fans know about that performance. Anyway, look, I do think we're going to have a strong year across the board. I think New South Wales Cup, lot to like with that squad, and first grade as well. So I think there's nothing more left to say about it. Thank you everyone for tuning into the watch along. Thank you for tuning in for the match reaction. I really appreciate your time. We'll be back on tomorrow for your weekend wrap up, and we'll also back into it again next week with our game week content. Just a heads up, I will be at Industrial Group Stadium. Oh no, what's it called now? Polytech Stadium. Mate, like I said, I reckon the Central Coast have got more name changes than Shark Park. Let's be real. But yeah, I'll be there next week for the trial game against the Eels. We're really excited to see the big boys back in action. And that we'll still have a watch along and a match reaction on here. My brother Matt will be taking over next week, but I will be doing a little bit of a match recap for you guys from outside Polytech Stadium next week sometime. And obviously, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be down in Sydney next week for the charity match. You can still get your tickets for the Sports Shed TV charity match myself, Retro, Leaguey, all your favorite Roosters and NRL content creators are going to be there. So I'll be keen to see you guys there next week. But yeah, so I'll be there at the game next Saturday, watching the Roosters there live. Can't wait. And yeah, looking forward to the season ahead. First game out of the way. Lot to like, still a lot to improve. It's a trial game. Don't get your knickers in a twist. It is a trial game, lads. You know, the result and the performance isn't the all and end all, like I said all week. So, but just be grateful that we've got the Roosters back on our screens again, and I couldn't be more happier. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. Give us a like on, like I said, give us a like and a follow on the Instagram. Subscribe to my personal page, Haynes_IT. We're going to see you live watch-alongs and game day vlogs from the Roosters this year. That's where the place to be, and everything else is going to be right here on the Sydney Roosters Diehards. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll be back tomorrow night for your weekend wrap-up. Thanks for watching it, and enjoy the rest of your footy. Just be grateful that the footy's back, ladies and gentlemen, and I certainly am. Thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you tomorrow. See ya.